comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So Melbourne is in another 5-day lockdown because they have 9 cases of COVID-19. Another circuit breaker lockdown to prevent a third wave. I just want to give Australia a little bit of a reality check. Australia hasn't even had a first wave yet. That's the reality. We live in one of the most isolated countries on earth. The borders have been closed for international travel in and out for almost 2 years now. We've been quarantining, we've been locking down. Melbourne's been locked down 5 times now. But somehow, COVID-19 keeps getting into Australia. And that is despite fucking all of that. The only people entering Australia is like a few thousand a week coming back from overseas. And they have to be vaccinated, I think. Before they get on the flight, they have to give a negative COVID-19 test. Then they need to do 2 weeks isolation back in Australia. And still, COVID-19's getting in. And I was looking at the numbers of Australia's so-called first and second wave. And the first wave topped out, maxed out at 500 new cases per day. And then it went down from there pretty rapidly. And the second wave, that scary second wave, was 700 cases a day. And it dropped from there. That was the peak. They aren't waves, they're spot fires. The first wave has not even come yet. You're wasting a lot of psychological and emotional energy worrying about these little fucking spot fires. So when the first wave eventually does come, which it's inevitably gonna come, it's coming no matter fucking what you do, unless you keep the country locked down like the prison colony it is, forever. It's coming. But by the time the first wave does come around, the people of Australia, and especially Melbourne in particular, Melbourne's had the hardest fucking run, are just going to be completely fucking cooked. By the time the first wave really takes hold in Australia, it will be 2 years, possibly 3 years. It depends when they open the country up. That's when the first wave's coming. But it will be 3 years in and out of lockdowns for no fucking reason. We're an island in the middle of the fucking ocean, 6 hours flight from anywhere, except New Zealand. New Zealand doesn't count though. They're doing the same thing as us. They're trying to keep it to 0. It's just fucking insane. It's the idea that you need to have 0 cases per day. That's insane. That is political. That is just something politicians can point at and pat themselves on the back about. That's it. So what happens if you close all the borders, don't let anyone in or out, which they're basically doing now. You lock down everything. You keep the numbers to 0 for a year, for a full year. No cases for a full year. Then what? You got to leave your house at some point. You got to go outside at some point, don't you? The whole place is getting turned into a fucking country of agoraphobic fucking hypochondriacs. I know it's really not the people's fault. The people are the ones getting fucked over here. Everyone in Australia is, and everyone all over the world, but I'm specifically talking about Australia. Everyone in Australia is already over fucking COVID-19, but the problem is, it hasn't even fucking started there. Everyone's like, I wish COVID-19 would fuck off. I'm sorry to say, but you haven't seen anything yet. And they've completely cooked you already. So when the first wave does come, that's when the real despair is going to set in. It's just so fucking annoying. One of my mates applied for an exemption to get out of Australia to go to Bali with his wife because their mental health is deteriorating bad. And their exemption got rejected. Now they're fucking in despair. Like, enough is enough now, isn't it? There's still 35,000 cases a day here. We're completely open. It's not like there's no COVID here. There's COVID fucking everywhere. But what are you meant to do? There'll be a third wave here, an actual third wave. There'll be another lockdown. They'll wait 5 or 6 weeks for it to settle down again, get back down to 35,000 cases a day, open back up again. What, are they going to do that ad infinitum? No, it won't. There'll be like maybe 1 or 2 more lockdowns, and then they'll be like, fuck it. Every man for themselves. That's it. Do some exercise, eat right, get out in the sun, because you're on your fucking own, baby. Anyway, it's just really fucking annoying because I would like to come back to Australia and be able to leave if I come back too. And I think the flights back to Australia are around the $10,000 mark at the moment, and they're getting booked out immediately. So there's no way home at the moment anyway, unless a lot more of you sign up for the fucking Patreon. Join the Patreon. The link to the Patreon are in my social media bios, or just message me directly and I'll send you the link myself. Also, I finally did the edit to that fucking vlog piece of shit thing. I'm only throwing it up on Patreon. It sucks. It's not good. Maybe there's a couple of good things in there. There's a monkey. I get out of the car at the end. I do some vlogging. It's okay. It's good. It's not that good. Anyway, that's it for tonight. And I'll see ya the fuck later.